Today we're going to discuss this statistics. Usually in the United States, the statistics class is called probability and statistics. So it's sometimes called P-stat. And so, but here in Taiwan, we just call that statistics. And then we're going to get to the introduction part. So the content. So what's going to be covered in this class for this semester. So chapter 1 is introduction. Actually, that's for the next class. So next Friday, we're going to have a detailed introduction of this class. And the second chapter is on descriptive statistics. Statistics can be divided into two parts. The first part is descriptive statistics. The second part, inferential statistics. So descriptive statistics is about description. So oftentimes, you will be required to collect a whole bunch of data. But as you can see, if you did not organize those data, it is just meaningless numbers. So you have to learn the way to organize those data and to present it either in a table or in a diagram. So this is one of the most important things you have to learn. So oftentimes you can see some of the stock analysts on TV, they show you a whole bunch of diagrams, lines, and charts. And they tell you what's the relationship between stock prices and stock volume. So these are the basics of the descriptive statistics. And then the next part, of course, this is another important part of statistics, is probability. Probability, basically, it means chances. Okay, what are the chances? So we throw a die. A die has 6 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you throw a coin, if you catch a coin, there are two sides, head and tail. So these are the simple examples. But of course, from all these simple theorems, we want to develop more complicated things that can predict from samples and to what's going on in terms of the population. The next part is the random variables. So here, we are talking about statistics. And of course, we have to find some way, okay, to quantify some kind of variables that we are interested in. And oftentimes, we call that random variables. But you want to be very careful here. Even though we call them random variables, it is not variable. It is a function. So let us say px is equal to 1 is equal to 0.5. That means, okay, when certain number occurs, the probability is 0.5. And generally, we have the example, right? We cast a coin, right? Cast a coin, there are two sides. So you know whether it is the upside or the downside, we call head and tail in English. You know, the probability is going to be different. But of course, sometimes we cast the coin twice. Sometimes we cast the coin 3 times. So there are a whole bunch of different kind of probability involved. Of course, in real life, we don't cast coins. We cast something else. If you want to buy stocks, of course, you expect the stock price to go up so that you can profit from that. But what's the probability the stock going to go up? So you have to think about it. And there is a way to find out the probability. Generally, it's based on the economic conditions or the stock index, the performance of the stock index yesterday, or in the United States, in other places. So these are the important things about probability, random variables. Okay. The next one is discrete random variables. So we talk about random variables, right? There are 2 types. The first type is we call discrete. What means discrete? Discrete, basically, it means integer. What's integer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is no decimal points. Okay, so 1.1 is a number with decimal points. Or 1 and a 1/2, that is with fraction. So that is the same thing. Integer basically is the discrete type. And then we have the continuous type. Okay, the continuous type. So for example, how tall am I? I am 167.5 centimeters. So there is a decimal point something, right? So basically, that is the continuous type random variables. You know, discrete type and continuous type deal with different kinds of numbers. Okay, so for example, we talk about population. So how many people there are in this class? Probably 50, right? Can we have 50.5%? No, because there is never a fractional person. It has to be a whole person, right? Okay. Even for babies, baby will be counted as one person, right? Okay. So basically from chapter 1 to chapter 6, that is about descriptive statistics. Tell you what's going on in this world, and you want to learn from those variables and to describe them, and you need to have some basic theory to deal with all these phenomena. And then we're going to talk about the sampling distribution. Okay, so why we talk about sampling? It is because if we want to talk about the population here, the population means for all the objects we are interested in. So for example, we are interested in the students, okay, of National Kaohsiung First University of Science and Technology. Okay, so for the whole school, we have more than 5,000 students. So if you want to study these 5,000 students, you got to have a lot of jobs, a lot of people to deal with it. So sometimes it will be convenient for us to just talk about this class because we only have less than 50 people, right? So here you have a population, but sometimes it takes too much money and too much time to deal with the population, so we want to deal with a sample. And what's more is that we have some theories that if we know the properties of samples, then it will be enough. Based on some statistical theory, we can infer the properties from the sample to the population. So for example, right now, United States is going to expect a presidential campaign, and I think the voting day is in December. So a lot of people want to know who is going to win, right? Who is going to win? Of course, if you really want to know who is going to win, you have to wait until that day, okay? But sometimes that's not enough. We want to know the result before the polling day, okay? Before the voting day. And so what you're going to do, a lot of newspapers, they call people, say, who you're going to vote for. And so this is sometimes a convenient way, and sometimes it is perfect, okay? It can really reflect what's in the opinions of those constituents. Constituents means those people eligible to vote, okay? So sampling distribution is one of the important things, and starting from here, we are talking about inferential statistics. Okay, then estimation. So here, we have a support, say, after the Republican National Committee, the supporting rate for President George W. Bush is like 53 points. And for John Kerry, it is like 42 points. So the difference is more than 11 points, okay? And so you want to know, is this kind of estimation correct or not, right? You estimate something, and of course you want to know whether that's correct or not. So here is something we learn. First, we learn how to estimate, okay? Estimate the support for President Bush, John Kerry, or later in this year, at the end of this year, we have a election for the legislature, okay? So the same thing. And then let's move on further. So after you do those kind of estimation, you want to know, okay, whether we've done a good job or not, okay, whether you've done it right or not. So after the estimation, you're going to do hypothesis test. And here, generally, you have two kinds of hypotheses. The first kind is that you do it right. The second is you do it wrong, right? And so you want to test whether you do it right or do it wrong. And of course, whether you do it right or not, you have to cope with this kind of issue to verify it based on statistical theory. Okay, so the same thing here is an extension of the estimation. Anova. Okay, Anova means analysis of variables, or variance. Okay, analysis of variance. In this case, because sometimes we not only want to test two things, we have to test several things. Okay, suppose you want to test several things together. Okay, how are you going to deal with it? If you're going to use hypothesis test, you can do it, but then there will be something wrong. So because of that, we're going to use Anova. So this is a specific way to test, okay, to test the hypothesis. And generally, after this point is probably the end of the semester. So this is what you're going to expect for this semester. But generally, in the other classes, we're going to cover more because we have 6 credits. Okay, so total 6 hours for the whole year. And here we only have 3 hours, right? So the credit is 3. So suppose we have time, what we're going to cover? Then we're going to cover simple linear regression. So this is one of the most important analytic tool that you're going to learn in your college. And it's quite powerful. But of course here we say it is simple linear regression. It deals with only 2 variables. One independent variable, the other dependent variables. But certainly you may know the investment decision. So let us say I want to invest. What will be in my mind? What will be the determinant factors? Interest rate, income, economic performance, the stock index, whole lot of things, and also risk. So certainly you know 1 variable, 2 variable, that is not enough. So we have to have a multiple linear regression. Okay, multiple regression. So you have several variables, more than 2. Okay, more than 2. And of course, when you run all these kind of regressions, you want to make sure that whether they are right or not. So you have to verify, what kind of relationships are among those variables, and okay, how closely they are related. Okay, so chapter 13, we're going to deal with correlation analysis. So basically, this is all about for this class. Any questions so far? Okay, the pace may be a little bit fast, but this is what I want to do. Get yourself familiar with the speed that I'm talking about, okay, the speech, okay, the speed of my speech. But starting next week, of course, I'm going to slow down more, okay? Otherwise, everyone's going to get confused. But probably you don't have to worry too much about it because we would have video and also we have audio here. So I'm going to post it on my website, and next week we're going to announce the website so that you can review on your own. So let us say you are not quite familiar with what I'm talking about and not so clear about the materials I'm talking about. And so in this class, it is very important to review and preview all the materials on your own before the class. Or otherwise, you will be just sitting there and idle away all those time. And that would be quite a pity for you. Okay? Any questions so far? Of course, in the during the class, you may have some questions. You can raise your hand, and then I'm more than happy to answer all of your questions. And the only person required to use English is me, right? So you don't have to worry about, say, you want to ask some question and you don't know how to speak that in English. That's not a problem. You can just ask your question in Chinese, Mandarin, Taiwanese. It is all welcome. Any questions so far? Okay, let us continue. Move on. So without proper organizing, okay, data will simply be a series of meaningless numbers. That's what I'm talking about, right? If you have a whole bunch of the stock prices of various companies, but can you see a trend? You need to see a trend, okay? T-R-E-N-D. You need to see what's the development direction, okay? And so here is one of the important things. You have to learn this first. You don't just check the stock prices of various companies, put it together. It doesn't make sense. Okay, you want to make the data sensible. And the reader, when they look at your data, look at your presentation, they know clearly what's going on there. Okay, so learning statistics will help you organize, summarize, and present data in an informative way. Okay, informative means can offer information. So this is very important. We know this is an information era, right? So information can determine everything, but you have to have informative data. Okay, you want to know, can tell people what's going on. Okay, and drawing charts and making tables are the basics in descriptive statistics. But we don't quite emphasize this part in this class because I believe most of you learn Excel, right? And Excel can help you draw those data tables. It should not be a problem. But if you want to learn more, of course, Excel offers you some statistical functions. So if you want to learn more, okay, you need to learn those tools. But I'm sorry that those kind of approaches won't be taught in this class. Okay, you have to learn that on your own. In this class, mostly we're going to tell you theories, okay, and the models. Okay, that's the most important thing in this class. And for the computer stuff, you have to learn on your own. Okay. So grading policy, everyone going to be concerned with this, right? How am I going to pass this class? We have 2 midterms and 1 final, and they are weighted equally. Okay, so that means the first midterm 33%, the second midterm 33%, and the final 33%. But if you perform as you move on, of course I will take that into consideration. But that's basically what we have. Okay. Questions? Of course, you have to take the a review session in charge by Mr. Zhuang. Okay. You have to attend that session. Okay. You have to attend the class, and in that class, Mr. Zhuang gonna teach some of the examples and assign some assignments. So if you fail to hand in all the assignments, your grade certainly will be in trouble. Okay, so these are some of the things that I will consider in my grading. Okay, so you have to make sure that you attend Mr. Zhuang's session. Okay. How to do well in statistics? Okay, basically statistics is just math. Okay, math statistics. So how to do it well? Okay, come here. Okay, with your mind fully prepared for the class. So you have to preview the textbook, okay, preview the textbook, and very attentive in this class, okay, take notes, and write down whatever question you have. Of course, if you have any questions, you have to address the question to me. And you have to work on some problem sets. So in the book, there are a lot of exercises, and also Mr. Zhuang going to assign you some homework. You have to do those homeworks and to practice it, okay? Take notes, study hard, and the most important thing, constant practice makes perfect, right? Constant practice makes perfect. So there's no royal road to learning, right? There's the saying say, there's no royal road to learning. So how much you want to get out of it depends on how much you put into it. So if you want to get out of this class as much as you can, you have to devote a lot of your time to statistics. Okay, any questions so far? So far, so bad. No idea. Okay, then today we're going to stop here.